And now we are returning home for the second time since starting the game. And we'll get our friendship shrine up there and our aviary shrine back there along with the invite shrines. And now our home space looks a little bit different. So we have my couple of friends here. And those are the ones I made in forest yesterday. Then we have our daily candle that was, I'm not sure when that was added, where we actually got a daily candle. So there's our daily candle. Hooray! That was short-lived. This was after the rainbows. So we used to get a daily rainbow candle. So I think they must have just said daily regular candle now. The invite shrines, which did work in beta. I don't remember if they worked here at this point, but they did work in beta for people who were part of the beta. I'm going to show you kind of how our little friendship level up shrine worked. Best friends bring out the best. That was how much stuff you had open with people. So I got that one. And get some candle wax for this. Later on, this gave you a heart when you completed a tier. It might actually still give you a heart when you completed a tier. Make one more friend to earn a reward. Never were sure what the collectibles really referred to. I don't know if it was, I'm not sure we ever were sure what the collectibles referred to because it didn't seem to be a consistent thing. At one point, the collectibles were a massively high number. Anyway, that thing kind of moved around. It moved to aviary eventually. And so now we're continuing on actually from yesterday's, or 2 days ago at this point, I think it was. And again, I don't have any, it was yesterday's, the 14th. Today is the 15th of September 2018. Well, today isn't, but you know what I mean. I had no more sound for this beginning part, and then my sound would not record with the video. So I'd start the video, or I'd have sound in the game, but I'd start the video. When the video saved, I got nothing for the first 30, 40 seconds. And then the beginning of the video started. So it started from 40 seconds ago. So I was missing the audio at the end of recordings and didn't know it. At one point I could have saved that, but you know, by now all those files are gone. All those original files are gone. So we're just going to be silent here. You can see it was very, very, very windy on this, but here's the entrance to the ice tunnel where it used to be. It used to be off to the right of the main drag down. The music is, I think, pretty much the same anyway. There were no candles in here at the time. Doesn't look like. We have candles in here now. And then all the candles down the middle of this. And then like magic, I actually quit here and started again the next day. And like magic, we're going to be on the 15th video with sound. There we are. The joys of video editing. So I've already cut out a bunch of stuff from this. I'm really trying to keep it to what's new and different and not a ton of what you already know. But there's a really cool new area over here that was actually added a couple months before this, but this is the first video I'm sharing of it. The cannon in Valley Ice Rink. Or sorry, we are renamed mountains. We were renamed mountains, I think, with this update. They changed the valley name to mountains. And you'll also notice they changed all of the names to just a shorter isle, prairie, forest, mountains, wasteland, and vault. All the names were put to just that one word. So you could move the direction by using these things, lighting these things. And then you did have to have a candle, just like the catapult works now. You did have to have a candle. So there was a candle there already first. It acted kind of funky. It's going to shoot us off in a second. Ah, okay. And that was kind of fun. So there was a cannon added here, there was a cannon added in Wasteland, and the catapult was added to Wasteland. Okay, so now we're going to just go on a normal quest. And these haven't changed too much. Some of the, like in the other videos, the spirits have changed their look a little bit. I don't know if this one has. No, she's still, I believe, the same. There's my little black cape showing off that I already have it. I was very fond of the black. The black was introduced with this update. Yeah, this update as well. So I wore the black cape for a while. Went from blue to purple to black, and then back to blue, eventually. So that the chibi is, of course, me on my main account, and the other is I believe my first alternate, which would be Rain. So I was a Rainy too, and this one has a new look to him. My first alternate account was called Rain. And I had actually started the wiki at this point, so that's why I was doing the walkthroughs. And I think I had actually done it, and that's Wouter who just joined us. So hi Wouter, or Wouter, W-O-U-T-E-R. Even back then it was hard for me to just be in the game without meeting friends. I'm going to show a little bit of trying to land on these pillars to get these candles lit, because they're not already lit. It was quite challenging. We're missing our kiosks now, since everything is bought from the constellations, spirit maps now. So that was our precursor to what we have now. Landed on that one. There's your strategic bonking, for those of you who follow my streams. Strategic bonks. Bonking meaning crashing into things, not the other meaning of it. See, strategic bonk. And here's a little flyover. We had went flying over. I love that temple. I miss it. There's the cannon on the left. Still just one race at this point. There's our ice rink. And like I said, this isn't the first version of Valley either, or Mountains, this ice rink area, or even the second. There was a one before I started the beta too that looked quite different. And I have seen pictures of it, but a long time ago on Facebook. So there's just a nice little flyover of the ice rink area of Mountains. Just as I got used to calling it Mountains, they changed it back to Valley. There's our bird statue. So I'm going to head over here. I actually liked these quite a bit, really. I didn't like, though, that sometimes you would get into an outfit and you couldn't change, because you can only see the constellation that you're at. You can't see all the constellations. And unfortunately, we don't have a really good, because of the cloudy wind. So you would get stuck wearing something if you changed into it in that constellation. I couldn't change it back into my black or blue cape if I went to the red, because I only have red in that in the Valley or Mountains grouping. So you'd be stuck in an outfit you don't want because you accidentally clicked on it and you have it. Obviously, if you click on it and you don't have it, you'll revert to what you were wearing before. But if you click on it and have it, you'll change into it. So just like our closets now. We had candles in here to collect, so I think I skipped that part of collecting the candles, lighting and collecting the candles. All this is the same, but this is when you see the mountains come up. there's the twins. I am going to do a video, put together my videos on all the quests we had, because that was one of the quests we had, was to find those, the twins, and then the big trumpeters. The trumpeters came back in Citadel when we added Citadel, but then they took that out. So many changes they made that were beautiful changes in the beta, and then they took them out. And I know I get comments on these videos, why did they take these cool things out? And I don't know. They didn't quite fit in with that game company's idea of the game somehow. And sometimes getting that response to a quote complaint about what changes they made, it was like, okay, we're the players of the game, and who are you trying to make this game for? So I don't know, because some of them were so visually, it's like, what was the problem? Anyway, they like to make it very clear it was their game, and they would make the decisions. So I was like, okay, I'm just a beta tester for what? I don't know, but anyway, we'll just go with it. So all the race emotes are the same places still. We still have our sparklies, and not too much longer before that changes. In fact, the valley hasn't changed a whole lot other than the look of the spirits at the end and the cannon. That's pretty much all that is really different since my last upload of what Valley looked like. And the name changed, of course, to Mountains. Like I said, as soon as I got used to calling it Mountains, they changed it back to Valley. I'm pro now. I can get this no problem. Oh, I struggled with it in the beginning. Oh, of course, we picked the blue side, too. Definitely my preferred side. That used to, if you went left or right, would drop you into a glitch. In fact, the glitch was bottomless, well, nearly bottomless. You would eventually crash into water sound with nothing there and be stuck down there. Then they changed it, at least so that if you, well, I'm not sure it was really a good change. You would just, in fact, it might not have been a good change, because you would basically hit the bottom and warp back to the race. Well, that means you disconnected from your friends and from your emote symbols if you had gotten them. It was nicer if you had a friend that when you landed at the bottom with no warping, you could warp back, actually friend warp back to them. But anyway, that was a funky glitch for a while. I so miss this old stadium though. I'd forgotten how pretty it was, and it had a big hallway at the top you could get to if you were a good flyer. And the racing was kind of fun. Actually blue against red, and it was, you didn't get anything special for it. Nobody got a reward that the others didn't get. In fact, you got no reward whatsoever. You just got bragging rights. One of the challenges was for people to get the max, fill the thing, the max number of butterflies, red or blue. And another challenge was to get the max number of butterflies plus all 3 gold things when you needed the spirits. Now, of course, right now, the spirits are there if you've already collected them. They're always there, because that's where you bought stuff from the spirit maps, was from the spirits. And I kind of liked that. I kind of liked finding them in the world afterwards, like them being there. It was just a neat, I don't know, made the world seem less empty. I liked this. So this was this update. It was having those spirits just hanging out there. So now we're getting to all 3 gold symbols with the spirits, and they do look a little different. I think they look a little different than they did the last time I showed this. And we did not get the max number of blue. You could actually stop and go back and get more blue butterflies if you were solo. It also helped a lot of, 3 players and or more than one player, and everybody was separate and did their own thing, helping get all of them on the team, or blue against red. Blue side wins. There was no red side. There was a bug later where that didn't always work right, and you see the red side win when they had nothing. I'm not sure what was happening there. Anyway, no. There's our crossed arm stance, which still has the wrong icon pop up. Yeah, wrong icon in the menu, in the map too, but that wasn't fixed until after Citadel was added, which was a little bit later. Bow, back in its proper place. And back flip. And there's more to our we're just missing cheer and blowing kisses. There was no Manticore in Valley yet. That wasn't, or Mountains yet. That was moved with Citadel's addition as well. So we're going to look at page 2 for all of the cosmetics that are in here associated with these spirits. There's the crosshair, mask. Like I said, if you then have no hearts to offer, everything still costs hearts. And at this point, everything in the cosmetic maps cost hearts. There were still no candles spent. I don't think. And now I said something wrong earlier. I said that we bought cosmetics from the spirits. I don't think we did yet. And now I'm not sure. There was a period when here you bought them from the spirit maps, but later you could buy them from the spirits themselves in the world, similar to how you do it at the in the social spaces now. But I think at this point it might have been just the spirit maps. But since I never go back to a spirit, okay, I'm not real sure. Like I said, it's not terribly important either because this is past. It's no longer true. But this was the beginning of those constellations where they showed you the constellations and you worked with the constellations. The constellations were much less emphasized in the earlier versions. But I feel like that's something they wanted to emphasize the whole time. They wanted it to be part of the game the whole time. It would help if I was in the spirits perimeter, but I'm not. There we go. She looks different. She's changed. But no, they still go away here. Okay, so you can't buy them from the spirits. The spirits don't stay out yet. That must have come with winter season, is when the spirits would stay out at their posts, basically. And you would find them there in the world after you'd collected them. Part of the problem here also is I've already looked at all those videos again, so I have to keep straight which version I'm looking at, and it's hard to remember. the wind getting, oh no, this is the steps leading up to a bunch more candles in here than there are now. But we are missing, they moved, all the candles you see in here were moved to the temple, the next area, which we don't have here. There's our valley. I need to put a video up of flying up there because it was a very different view than you get now. Very different coloring and everything. I see we don't have the candles on top of this little platform that we do today in today's game. We do have these little candles here though. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting changes still to come with this area. What they did is they then brought Prairie back together, that central hub. I think people didn't, it broke up the flow, and people could very easily, I'm not even sure very easily because I never tried it, skip the whole thing. So anyway, so the Prairie looked a lot more like it does today. And with winter season, they brought the valley, or mountain still, that we know today. But it looked different, but it was the same layout as what we know today. And this is still my favorite. This and the rain and the forest cutscene. Dang, I wish they had kept these. Now granted, this one doesn't work well with how they wanted you to be handing the light to the elders, or the elders to take the light from you, because there is no taking of the light here. So I think that's why they changed this one, because they were doing but still, when this was added, we just died of love for it, with the little characters' reaction to everything. See, it's like, oh my goodness. I think collectively we all, I can't think of anybody who did not just die over that cutscene. I mean, too cute. It was awesome. See, now I've leveled up. I've got the beginning of my third wedge. We have all of our emotes. And that's what our place looked like. And the outside, I wish they'd fixed that view. Not sure what they did with the last or previous, one of the previous live updates, global live updates, but oh my goodness, they messed up that view bad. And then we're off to Wasteland. Next video. Thanks for watching.